It's time to duel. Today we have a video from Watch Mojo, and we're gonna go over the 20 greatest Yu-Gi-Oh battles of all time.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for context, real quick, and we'll get into the video. For context, I think there's two. Is there? I think there's two Yu-Gi-Oh series I did not watch. I did not care for. I watched the original. I watched the one with the motorcycles, 5Ds, is that what it's called? And then I watched um um God damn it, what the fuck? The guy with the elemental heroes, I watched that one. And then I watched Vrains. I did not watch Zexel. And there's another one, I swear there's another one that I can't think of that I did not watch. The one because there's like the one with the pendulums, right? And then there's the other one with the I don't know what I'm talking about.
Everything, Yugi.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at
I
the most
swear there's
epic,
two that I
nail-biting
just
duels in the
did not
original
watch.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series.
Red Eyes, welcome back.
Facts. Red Eyes is still my favorite from the OG. A lot of people like their blue eyes. They like Dark Magician. They like the Egyptian gods, or they like what's his fucking name? Um Exodia. But yeah, boy, hard stance. Summon Skull and um Red Eyes. Also, one of my best decks I ever made was a Red Eyes deck. It was complete hacks.
Number 20, Yugi vs Kaiba, the first encounter. How could we forget the match that kicked
Facts.
off the show's most famous rivalry? Seto Kaiba has beaten Yugi's grandfather in a duel and ripped up his most treasured card. Yugi steps up to avenge his grandpa using the Wounded Elders deck, and he and Kaiba duel for the very first time. It's a simple introduction to the core basics of the game, for the anime anyways, but it ends with a bang.
It is so insane to see this. And then when you watch the last movie they did, and Yami Yugi has his match with Kaiba. Wow. Wow.
As Yugi obliterates
The
Kaiba's
animation
Blue Eyes
difference
White
is insane.
Dragons with Exodia.
Draw your last pathetic card so I can end this, Yugi.
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba, but it does contain the unstoppable Exodia.
This one exhilarating brawl
Facts.
laid the groundwork for bigger, more harrowing duels down the line, and established Yugi's ability to control fate at his fingertips.
Exodia! Obliterate!
Yes.
Number 19, Yugi vs Joey, Duelist Kingdom semi-finals. Finally, after following both of their journeys, Yugi and Joey face off in the Duelist Kingdom semi-finals. Whoever wins will receive $3 million and a chance to face
It's actually kind of crazy, like, how good Joey is. Like, obviously, to the top tier, he gets clowned on, right? But for the average duelist, you're never gonna beat Joey. Joey's that guy.
Pegasus in the finals. Yugi needs to win to save his grandfather and the Kaiba brothers, but Joey needs the prize money for his sister. Both best friends give it their all in this nail-biting match, and it's too difficult.
I think that's why I lost the drive for it, because, like, I do remember, let me just hold on. We're gonna look up. Oops. Okay. So the ones that I watched was OG Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, Arc V, that's what it is. Arc V, I did not watch. Zexal, I did not watch. GX, I watched. 5D's Duel Monsters Vrains. And then some of these are the same ones, except they're either movies or series that were tied into the original. And then Zexal 2, I did not watch. And then Dark Side of Dimensions is the movie that I was quoting earlier, and the movie he quoted before. Beyond Bonds Beyond Time's pretty decent. Pyramid of Light is solid. A lot of people are fans of the monsters used in that, and I actually have the OG manga for that. So yeah, now you know what I've seen. And yeah, I could not think of Arc V to save my life, but it was the one with the fucking pendulums and sit. And this one had like the fucking um, what the hell are those fucking things called? I don't remember the mechanics of either of these because they're just completely useless to me. I just didn't. I couldn't get into these two. They're too childish, I think. These ones are a lot less childish, and they had a lot of dark themes going along with them, and I fucked with that heavy.
For us to decide who to root for.
You fought a valiant duel, my friend, and this is the hardest move I've ever had to make. But this ends now.
True. Also, what the fuck happened to my screen? There we go.
Ah! I play Monster Reborn and call the Black Skull Dragon back from the graveyard.
And it's over.
It's crazy.
In the end, Yugi is the victor, naturally, but he gives Joey the prize money, the perfect reward for the underdog making it this far.
It's so good.
Fireball attack!
I was absolutely torn
While
watching
the
this.
best friends face off was tense, it's heartwarming that they both got their happy endings afterwards. Number 18, Yugi and Joey versus the Paradox Brothers. After finally escaping the caves under the Duelist Kingdom, the gang comes face to face with a pair of Pegasus's goons, the Paradox Brothers. The twins force Yugi and Joey into the show's first tag team match if they ever want to escape.
He is pain beyond description. He'll mark the graves with your inscription. Gate Guardian!
The brothers' game has plenty of literal twists and turns when they unleash the Labyrinth Wall, and the stakes get even higher when their almighty Gate Guardian comes into play. Thankfully, Yugi and Joey work together like a well-oiled machine, bringing out the best in each other even on the battlefield. Their camaraderie culminates in two of their mightiest beasts coming together to form the Black Skull Dragon.
Black Skull Dragon! Molten Fireball attack!
I just want to get to the point where we can do this in real life, dude. Like, what? Why are we worrying about going to space? You know what I'm saying? Why do we care about going to space? Why do we care to make fucking sex robots? Okay. Damn, that was a weird fucking tangent. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is why do we not have hologram projectors yet? I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh against my friends.
Number 17, Kaiba vs Siegfried. Kaiba really needs to learn to make more friends and less enemies.
Look, that lame strategy may have worked against a dork like Wheeler, but I'm in a different league.
Oh, is that so?
During his Grand Championship, Siegfried von Schroeder, a rival CEO, has been hacking into the computers to undermine Kaiba. Of course, Kaiba isn't taking this sitting down and gets into a heated duel with Siegfried. The two are clearly neck and neck. Siegfried is constantly one step ahead, but Kaiba manages to save himself nearly every turn. While Siegfried's Valkyries are mighty, they are no match for Kaiba's Dragon Obsession as he pulverizes Siegfried with 5 beasts at once. Yugi may be the king of
True.
games, but Kaiba proved today why he's still one of the best around by undercutting the only rival who's more arrogant than himself.
I'm glad you came here, because now I get a chance to publicly humiliate you again. Now take it away, Blue Eyes!
Kaiba is such a fucking savage, dude. I love Kaiba.
Number 16, Yugi vs Kaiba, Duelist Kingdom. Yugi
True.
finally has enough star chips to qualify for the Duelist Kingdom semi-finals, but there's one more obstacle in his way, Seto Kaiba.
I create the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon!
To save his little brother from Pegasus,
card went
Kaiba
hard.
forces Yugi into a duel for his star chips. Kaiba has the upper hand after crippling Yugi's deck and calling out his Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. But Yugi manages to turn things around with anime game logic. However, Kaiba escalates things and forces Yugi to surrender the match.
Your move, Yugi. You can attack my Blue Eyes again and wipe out my remaining life points. But if you do, the resulting shockwaves might cause me to lose my balance.
Don't tempt me!
Not only did he lose 5 star chips, but he lost his confidence and his trust in Atom, who was almost willing to put Kaiba in harm's way just to win one duel. Number 15,
Should have done it. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Kaiba wouldn't have died there. Let's be real. Too valuable.
Joey vs Valon. Mai has fallen in with a bad crowd, and Joey is determined to bring her back to her senses. Unfortunately, Mai's new friend Valon makes things difficult by challenging Joey to an orichalcos duel.
Well, I gotta say, it's been fun, Wheeler. But all
Oh my god, I forgot how fucking wild the dub is back in the day, dude.
good things must come to an end.
What
So
happens
good.
next is pure insanity. Rather than a straightforward duel, the two end up forming suits of armor around each other to literally beat the life points out of each other. The armor deck gameplay is confusing, but Joey once again proves that he's a scrappy contender, whether at Duel Monsters or in fisticuffs.
Big Bang Dragon Blow!
Plus,
Crazy.
seeing him in armor is just plain awesome. Joey emerges exhausted but triumphant, but he has no time to rest as Mai forces
Should've brought
him
that
into
back.
a duel that costs him dearly. Number 14, Joey vs Weevil. For his second match in the Battle City tournament, Joey faces the treacherous insect
True.
duelist, Weevil Underwood. As usual, Weevil is playing dirty. He
Again, one of the best OG matches.
sneaks a parasite into Joey's deck that slowly infects his monsters and turns them into insects.
Say bye-bye to your buck.
On top of that, his own insect army keeps getting stronger with his great moth and even stronger insect queen. Unfortunately for Weevil, he made one fatal mistake, underestimating Joey Wheeler. Our favorite
Facts.
underdog combats Weevil's parasite with Gearfried the Iron Knight and effortlessly exterminates Weevil's bugs, putting the slippery little worm where he belongs. Even with all of Weevil's tricks, he was still no match for the Brooklyn Rage, and Joey proved why he belongs in the tournament.
Time to exterminate your queen!
Weevil was 100% bullied, and it was 100% deserved.
Yeah!
What a little
There
asshole.
goes my best problem. What have you done to my queen?
Number 13, Yugi vs Strings. Mimes are creepy
True.
enough, but a mime armed with an Egyptian god? No thanks. Strings, another one of Marik's rare hunters, has forced Yugi into a duel.
You're finished, Yugi!
It was very interesting to see. Back in the day, the god cards were everything. So when we got to this episode, and then we were phased down with the fact that the person who we thought would be the one guy that would just easily find his way out of any situation. You know, Yami Yugi, buddy's been taking W since day one. So we were all like, you know, there ain't nothing. This face right here was the first face to put you in a mindset of doubt. That was like, oh shit, oh shit. Joey, jo- Joey, help, Joey, help.
Prepare to feel his wrath!
How can I stop it?
He has a conniving card combo that renders him untouchable, and worst of all, he has the Egyptian god card Slifer the Sky Dragon in his corner. It looks like Yugi is doomed until he exploits a loophole in Strings' perfect strategy, forcing the mime to draw until he runs out of cards, automatically losing the duel. This was one of Yugi's most creative victories, and he rightfully
True.
walks away with Slifer the Sky Dragon, and another step closer
Strategy
to
was
ending
hard.
Marik's madness.
My Egyptian god card will continue to grow stronger with each cycle as I draw more cards. But it doesn't matter because I'm trapped. There's no way out.
That's right, Marik. Once you run out of cards to draw, you will automatically lose this duel.
No!
Facts.
Number 12, Joey versus My Valentine. Do the rules not make sense
Banger.
here? Absolutely.
Monsters that can fly have a magical resistance against monsters that can only walk on the earth.
Should Mai have instantly been banned for using perfume to cheat? Probably. Still, we can't help but have fun with this duel. It marks one of Joey's earliest challenges and showcases Mai's femme fatale qualities delightfully.
Harpies, lady. 1, 2, 3.
It's 3 times the trouble.
The show was still finding its feet by this point, evidently, but still knew how to enjoy itself with its cast, painting Joey as the underdog we would all come to root for. Number 11, Yugi and Kaiba versus Dartz. It's the longest tag team duel in the series' history. Rounding out the Waking the Dragon story arc in a rather bleak way, it falls to
The OG dual discs went hard.
Yugi and Kaiba to once again toss aside their rivalry and get their game on. If dueling for their souls wasn't enough, the fate of the world relies on the outcome, lest it become devoured by the Lovecraftian Leviathan.
Behold!
True.
Master of Dragon Soldier!
No way! 5,000 attack points?
Man, talk about the dream team.
There's some legit emotional weight here, but with Dartz using the souls of Yugi's friends as pawns to use on the field. But let's be honest here, we're here for just how beautifully broken this whole thing is. Where else can you find Yugi and Kaiba summoning Dragon Master Knight in 2 moves, plus the always memeable winning move of Infinity +1?
Your
Facts.
divine serpent's strength may be infinite, but that's still not enough. For now, there's a force beyond infinity. My Knight of Destiny!
Number 10, Yugi vs Yami Bakura. With Adam
Facts.
occupied elsewhere, Yugi is forced to duel Yami Bakura without the aid of his more confident half.
Without the Pharaoh controlling your every move, you don't.
This was insane. Because it was the first time that you truly had to see. Because if I remember right, um, regular Yugi was brought into this position before, but not at this scale and with these odds and this stakes that were on this match. So it was like the first time that you were like, "Oh shit, little Yugi can box," you know?
Stand a chance!
Bakura puts little Yugi through the ringer. As if his relentless taunting wasn't bad enough, his merciless strategy nearly obliterates Yugi's deck, leaving him with only 1 card left to draw. Thankfully, Yugi's luck hasn't run out yet, as he draws the monster that turns everything around, Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction.
I can't tell you how many circles that I was no longer allowed to be in because I pulled this card. It is 100% a feels bad card, and I 100% Don't care. See, here's the thing that killed Yu-Gi-Oh for me, right? The thing that killed Yu-Gi-Oh for me is that everybody who plays it, at least when I was still playing, everybody that played it was a very, very tournament rule strict. So even in other play groups, you couldn't play the God cards, you couldn't play a Monster Reborn. Me and my buddy, back in the day, me and my buddy, we didn't care about any of that. We saw Yu-Gi-Oh! We saw Yu-Gi-Oh! As a way to express ourselves on a level that was not as simple as do A plus B equals C, which is what the tournament rules limit you to, because all of the best, most powerful creative cards are fucking banned. So we said, fuck that shit. Throw it the fuck out. We're going to do our own thing. And it's going to get crazy up in here. So that's when I got like turn 3, like red eyes, fucking W's. It was insane. It was insane how good my red eyes deck was. Tournament legal? Absolutely fucking not. But it would make your best deck that you ever had useless. Because like my turn 1 was wipe your field, my turn 2 wipe your field, my turn 3 play 4 red eyes and win. It was so stupid and it was 100% effective. Not really. No, it was like 85%. 85% effective. There are times obviously everybody gets bad hands where all the cards I needed to do what I had to do was essentially just not useful. But for the most part, yeah. I mean, I took advantage of every banned card possible to make that deck become what it was. And I did the same thing for Blue Eyes. I was like, how the fuck can I get to Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as fast as fucking possible? And it's the same thing with anything else. I think it was like probably so like if you're a Magic the Gathering player, um, you know the difference between a casual game of Commander versus CEDH, which is competitive Commander. Um, the difference is staggering. Yeah, the difference is insane. Um, that was essentially my mentality when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Was how can I break this concept and make it work to my to the best of my knowledge? And I kind of got into the same rhythm with Dragon Ball Super card game where I had the same mentality where I was like, okay, I have a Dark Broly deck that does a bunch of fucking graveyard shenanigans where I'm throwing shit away that anybody in the world would say, why did you do that? What the fuck? You should have kept that. You could have won the duel. But the difference of that was I have 4 of them and I'm doing it on purpose so that on turn 3 I could drop fucking 4 3,500 attack cards and now you're half dead. And I did the same thing. Well, I actually didn't do the same thing with Magic. I never have made a competitive Magic deck. Um, most of the decks I just kind of find a theme and then I go with the theme. Um, I guess you could say I've had strong casual decks. That would be the way to say it. I think my highest level deck, there might have been a couple level 8s at one point, but for the most part, I've not done anything like that. I think honestly, and my buddy Kyle, if he sees this video, he'll be able to tell you firsthand. Um, the the worst deck that everybody had a hard time beating was the Aminatu the Fate Shifter deck, and it wasn't even an Aminatu deck. It was an approach of the Second Sun deck. So get ready to fucking nerd out for a minute because we're gonna talk about this. So my Aminatu the Fate Shifter deck, uh, aka the approach of the Second Sun deck, its only goal was to stonewall everyone until I could play Approach of the Second Sun 2 times. The way Approach of the Second Sun works, you play it once, you put it 7th. From the top of your deck, you put it 7th. And then when you draw it back to your hand and you play it again, you win. That's it. There's no if, ands, buts about it. You just win. So, so you could say that my buddy Kyle, he tends to make decks that are more on a competitive side. I will not say that they're CEDH decks because the CEDH decks are absolutely fucking broken. His are like right at the border of that. Like if I gave him another $500, then it would just be impossible to beat him. But he built decks that are like right at the cusp of that. So when I stonewalled those types of decks, and we have these 2, 3, 4 hour fucking long games where we're just constantly drawing and then just playing shit to the point where we're both top decking, just hoping the fucking duel would end. It's literally some of the best memories I've had, and um, I think it's even more entertaining to play a deck like that at a big table because it's such a self-serving deck. It's 100% a deck that does not care what you have at your table. It cares what I have at my table. And I make that very clear with anybody. And because I knew Kyle so well, I also knew his decks just as well as I knew him. So I had to make it very clear with people, uh, not naming names, but there are certain individuals that I tried to convince, table politics. If you're a commander player, you know about this. Table politics, I was trying to convince them to make the moves that they needed to make to stop him from going off because I knew he was going to go off. But they didn't listen. And because I was playing the Aminatu deck, I can't help them. That deck's picture perfect design was only made to help me. I don't care about anybody else, just me. I stonewall everybody, I delay everybody, and I win. That's it. That's the only goal. So, that's just a little backstory about my experience with different card games. I never played the Pokemon TCG, so I got nothing to say about that. But the ones that I have played, including Yu-Gi-Oh, there are quite a few stories that I could go on for hours about.
This was a major victory for little Yugi. Not only did he defeat the series' overarching antagonist, but he proved that he could win a duel even without the Pharaoh's help, showing that he's equally worthy of the title
X.
of King of
That's
Games.
what I was saying.
More than enough to wipe you out! Now, swordsman, attack!
Number 9, Mind Control Joey versus Yugi. Sometimes
I forgot about this.
friends make the best enemies. Controlled by Marik,
This is when he used. Oh, what the fuck is that card called? He's gonna bring it up. He's gonna bring it up. We have to bring it up.
Joey is turned to the dark side and is forced to duel it out with his bestie, with the loser being sentenced to a watery grave. So the stakes are a tad high. Marking Yugi's independent stance against Yami, this duel shows that while the impossibly haired youth has much to learn, he is still an expert duelist who can hold his own.
He's just gotta keep fighting and break free before that anchor falls into the ocean, taking us with it.
This is the closest that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has acknowledged death as the result of a duel,
True.
so enjoy it while you can.
Yugi, you saved my...
But overall, I mean, they didn't bring up the card, which makes me big sad. But overall, uh, the whole theme throughout the show was losing your soul, being condemned to the shadow realm and all that shit. That's where the whole meme comes from. So it is kind of crazy to see as it goes along. I mean, GX has a dark theme to it. 5Ds has a dark theme to it. Brains has a dark theme to it, but you kind of lose it in Zexal and the other one, Arc V.
But more times than I can count.
I could be wrong. I have not watched those in a long time, but as soon as I saw the art style, I was done.
This time, Joey's gonna be the one doing the rescuing.
Number 8, Yami Bakura versus Yami Marik.
True.
When Marik lost control of his body to his darker half, his spirit recruited Yami Bakura to help him get it back.
But now that I'm in control again, the rod's power is mine.
Until the winged dragon of Ra destroys you.
I'm sorry, Marik, but your ranting has become tiresome.
Which of course means a shadow
Facts.
duel between two of the show's biggest villains. The winner gets their opponent's Millennium item, while the loser fades away into the darkness. The two are almost evenly matched. Bakura even manages to snag Marik's infamous Winged Dragon of Ra. However, Yami Bakura's knowledge of Ra's
So
deadliest
good.
abilities ensures his victory, while the shadows swallow up Bakura. Bakura isn't worried, however, and confidently declares that he will
Bakura is like seriously like one of the most humble fucking guys. In Dark Sided Dimensions, he's literally the chillest guy and he gets fucked again.
return. Based on his track records, we believe him. It was a
Pause.
rare treat
Holy
to see
shit.
two villains dueling each other.
Winged dragon of Ra, let us attack now!
Number 7, Marik vs. Joey, Battle City Semi-Finals. Look at
True.
how far our boy has come, taking on Yami Bakura in retribution for Mai's defeat and banishment to the Shadow Realm. Joey is forced to deal with the most painful of Shadow games, since Marik attaches metaphorical strings between the duelists and each monster, resulting in physical pain when one is defeated.
Behold the true form of Ra!
What? Tell me what's going on here. Cause where I'm from, giant flaming birds are not a good thing. So
Kini.
give it to me straight.
I'm sorry.
Still, despite it all, Joey comes within inches of winning the whole thing and banishing the twisted spirit for good. Sure, he ultimately loses, but the fact he came so close speaks volumes.
Joey is literally a lot of people's favorite characters, and I can 100% back you on that.
Oh no!
Joey!
Number 6, Kaiba and Yugi vs. Noah. It's time to duel for possession of Kaiba Corp. That's it. Trapped in a virtual world by the infamous Noah, Kaiba is challenged for
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't give a fuck about this at all.
control via a brainwashed Mokuba.
This reunion is touching, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut it short.
What makes this duel interesting is the setup of each deck eerily resembling each of the duelists. Whether this be Kaiba's pride and power, or Noah's fixation on the past, it doesn't prevent Kaiba's loss to the latter. Naturally, Yugi has to step in at the end and save the day, with Kaiba's own death
Facts.
no less. Which is all kinds of epic, but still a major slap to Kaiba's Watapons.
Wipe him out!
Also, when are we getting Dark Sided Dimensions 2? I just realized I haven't talked about that this whole video. What the?
Number 5, Yugi vs. Raphael. Not many
True.
contenders can take on the king of games, let alone the pharaoh, and pull out a total victory, but Raphael is just built different. Backing Yugi and Yami into a corner,
But he
Dartz'
was built.
strongest
I'll give him
disciple
that.
uses a mixture of expert plays and mind games to drive a wedge between both Soul Bros, even tempting them to use the forbidden seal of orichalcos.
So tell me, how do you feel?
This duel is suspense at its finest, resulting in Yugi's soul being locked away and his ancient Egyptian counterpart driven to the brink by the loss of his eternal companion. Kaiba could only dream of doing this much damage.
It should have been me, not him!
It's fucking me. Oh my god. How did I forget about the meme? It's so good. It should have been me.
It's not fair!
Number 4, Yugi vs. Pegasus, Duelist Kingdom Finals. It's
Oh
King
my
vs.
God.
Creator with this grand finale to Duelist Kingdom.
Can't believe I forgot about that, man.
Blank, you know. For if I win, I claim your soul forever.
Between Pegasus being able to see Yugi's cards at any given moment and being pulled into a shadow game, Yugi's life force
Dude, the Millennium items were so fucking crazy back then.
is slowly drained away. Still, he's able to craft a winning hand for the Pharaoh to take over and finally put an end to Pegasus's fabulous reign of terror. The build-up and payoff is some of the best the series has to offer. Every play, every summon,
True.
every twist, this was when the series had established itself as the card game anime.
Attack, magician! With Chaos Scepter!
I think the one deck I never really made crazy was a magician deck.
Blast!
It was decent.
Number 3, Yugi vs. Marik, Battle City Final. Egyptian god cards dueling for the fate of the world? Yeah, we're down with that.
True.
Let the fun begin now!
The final confrontation between Yugi and Yami Marik, this duel has some of the most memorable plays and biggest spectacles the OG series ever produced. Despite all of Marik's shadowy tactics and monstrous deck, not even he is able to withstand Yugi's plot armor, especially when he unleashes every monster at once. The sight of Obelisk and Slifer dragging down the winged dragon of Ra is still metal as hell.
May the
True.
magic of Ragnarok rid the field of your winged dragon of Ra and swallow your dark side for all eternity!
Number 2, Yugi vs. Kaiba, Battle City Semifinals.
We're about
True.
to find out which one of our Egyptian god cards reigns supreme. So let the epic battle begin!
It's crazy that Kaiba maintains a connection with Obelisk as well. Because in the Dark Side of Dimensions, he pulls out Obelisk through straight hacks. It's the first time in Kaiba's life that he has had a touch of glory from the same hacks that Yami has had since day one.
Out of Yugi and Kaiba's numerous epic duels across the series, none have surpassed the impact of this clash. Rounding out the semi-finals of Battle City,
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of people's favorite duels, including myself. I think the only other duel that was my favorite was the one between Joey and Yami. That's it. That's the only other one I can think of.
Yugi and Kaiba square off in a holographic coliseum. This is the perfect setting for the monumental clash between two Egyptian god cards, Kaiba's Obelisk and Yugi's Slifer.
Just look at the
Facts.
field! Blue Eyes White Dragon faces the Dark Magician! The time has come to accept your destiny, Kaiba!
Even with a trip to ancient Egypt acting as an intermission, the thrills and chills found here make this one of the quintessential rival battles in all of anime, with both bringing their A-game until ultimately, as per tradition, Kaiba gets his blue eyes comeuppance. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest video.
Subscribe to them, subscribe to me. Most importantly, subscribe to yourself. Self-love is important these days. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to number 1.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Yeah, do that.
Number 1. Yugi vs. Atom. The final duel. Serving as young.
Facts. What a monumental fucking duel this was. This was like the send-off party, essentially, because Atem moved on. So he had to essentially make sure that Yugi was capable of holding his own, in which we do find out in the dark side of the dimensions that he can definitely hold his own. Mostly.
Kami Yugi, aka Atom's last showdown battle before his spirit passes on. This last playoff has the two partners square off in a card game for the ages.
If
so
you
good.
taught me anything, it's to put your heart into your deck and duel with everything you've got. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Given that Atom's deck features the Egyptian gods and every other heavy hitter, you'd think this would be utterly one-sided. And yet, due to his knowledge of duel monsters and some clever ploys of his own, Yugi isn't only able to match up against the Pharaoh, but pull out the ultimate win. Say what you will about some of the show's decisions, but they couldn't have pulled off a better finale if they tried, exemplified with
Literally, it's so peak, man. I'm literally just like, as I'm thinking about it, I'm just like slowly geeking up. I just want to rewatch it now.
this mash of monster kados.
Fate brought the two of us together for a reason, and we fulfilled our destiny.
Which duel had you on the edge of your seat? What's your favorite? Let us know in those comments below.
I can see now
True.
that I was wrong, Mokuba. He is the king of games.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out the
Crazy. So fucking good. So good. Well, make sure you go to their channel, smash that like button, subscribe to them, subscribe to me. Most importantly, subscribe to yourself. Self-love is important. I'm going to keep saying that until you motherfuckers subscribe, okay? Have a great day or night or morning whenever you see this, okay? We're all on different time zones. We're all just hanging out, having a good time. I'll catch y'all later.